I'll explain it again in a future study. But the two witnesses are not Elijah and Moses. The two witnesses are the two tables of the covenant, which are represented in the message of righteousness by faith, which 144,000 will give. At that time, there'll be a 3.5 year period, 42 months, 1,260 days, literal, at that time, where they'll be giving a message to the Hebrews that are still out in these churches, to the Hebrew first. After the end of 3.5 years, which would be AD 2031, in the spring, it'll be a final warning message to the heathen before the plagues fall. And then Messiah will return. Final warning message to the heathen, and then Messiah will return. Okay? So this is, we're really coming down to it. And I've been bending my brain, I've been bending my intellect, trying to wrap my head around the calendar. And I still don't get the whole calendar. I don't. I'm not lying to you. I do know it's a 360-day year. I do know the phases of the moon tell us what days it is, what Sabbaths it is, how many weeks it is. There's no question. But there's some other things I'm just not sure about. I'm just not. And it's not because it's not truth. It's because I'm not there yet. It's just me. It's not it. It's me. Okay? But one thing I do know. There is a first month. There is a first moon, new moon of the month. No question. There is a 10th day of the month. No question. There is a day of atonement. No question. 144,000 are being prepared now. No question. Okay? No question. But we're at the end, brothers and sisters. That September 23rd, 2017 was a prelude to what's getting ready to come on the Jubilee 2027. It was a prelude. And then 5 days after the Day of Atonement. Y'all know what happened 5 days after the Atonement? What happened 5 days after on the 15th day of the month? Let's look at it. So you got the first day of the 7th month. You got the 10th day of the 7th month, and then you got the 15th day. There's something else on the 15th day of the 7th month. What is that? Let's take a look. 15th day of the 7th month. Watch this. Watch this. 15th day of the 7th month. Leviticus chapter 23. Leviticus 23 from verse 39. Verse 39 down to verse 41. Leviticus 23, 39 to 41. Notice what it says. Watch carefully. This is the same 7th month. All this happening in the 7th month. Watch this. Also in the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land, that is the harvest, right? Ye shall keep a feast unto Yahawah 7 days. Watch this now. On the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath. 15th day of the 7th month. That's the two Sabbaths, 15th and 22nd. Okay? It's 2 Sabbaths right there in 8 days. 15th and 22nd. And ye shall take you on the first day boughs of goodly branches of palm trees, of boughs of thick of trees and willows of the brook, and ye shall rejoice before Yahawah your Most High 7 days, and ye shall keep it a feast unto Yahawah 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. Ye shall celebrate it in the 7th month. What does that represent? Passover was the death of Messiah. Feast of Weeks is the first fruits. Day of Atonement is the putting away of all sin and the receiving of righteousness. What is this here? Tabernacles. What's that? What's that? Where he talks about ye shall bring, he say, ye shall keep a feast. You gathered in all the fruit of the land. This is the return of the Messiah right here. Return of the Messiah right here. Okay? Return of the Messiah. Okay? What? Wait a minute. Let me show you something. A day for a year. If Day of Atonement, Jubilee is the 7th year, 2027, we can expect 5 years later we'll see the Messiah. A day for a year. 5 years later. 2032. Yeah, your brother's talking about that. 2032. We will see him. It's coming. Brothers and sisters, I'm saying it's coming. So much is being revealed to me. I'm trying to tell you. It's coming. We're now in the home stretch, brothers and sisters. We're now in the home stretch, 7th month. Now, wait. Let's go back to Revelation for a minute. Revelation chapter 7, where we was earlier. Let's go back. Remember now, the first day of Feast of Tabernacles is a Sabbath, and the 8th day is a Sabbath, right? Okay. And they had palm branches in their hands to make booths out of them. Palm branches in their hands, right? Watch this. Watch this. Revelation chapter 7, from verse 9. From verse 9. Revelation 7, from verse 9 down to verse 12. Notice what it says. Revelation 7, 9 to 12. Watch. Revelation 7, 9 to 12. 144,000 received the seal. It's the 7th month. It's the Day of Atonement. They begin a message. They preach that message. They prepare the people. The people receive or don't receive. Then there's the last year and a half. And notice what happens after that. 7th month. 15th day of the month. And after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed in white robes. And what did they have in their hands? Did you notice what they have in their hands? What do they have in their hand? Palms. That is, branches in their hands. They have branches in their hands. What is that telling you? It is the Feast of Tabernacles. It's the Feast of Tabernacles. They have palms in their hands, and cry with a loud voice, salvation to the Most High, to our Most High, which sitteth on the throne, and unto the Lamb. And all the angels stood round about the throne, and about the elders and the 4 beasts, and fell before the throne on their faces, and worshipped Yahawah, saying, Amen. Blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and might be to our Most High forever and ever. There it is. Okay, we're not finished. Wait a minute. Feast of Tabernacles. Messiah's returning. Feast of Tabernacles. Okay, that's the feast that he's returning on. Now, notice also a question is asked. There's the people with the palm branches, but then there's another group in the midst of them, another group. From verse 13 to verse 17, Revelation chapter 7, 13 to 17. Notice what it says. There's another group here. There's some other people, aside from the people with the palm branches. These are different. Notice what it says. You tell me. Watch. And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, What are these, which are arrayed in white robes? Whence came they? And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said unto me, These are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes, and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Therefore are they before the throne of Yahawah, and serve him day and night in his temple. And he that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them. And they shall hunger no more. Remember we talked about hungering. They shall neither thirst anymore, neither shall the sun light on them. Apparently it got very hot for them, nor any heat. For the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them, and shall lead them unto living fountains of waters. And Yahawah shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. Who is he talking about? Who's this group of people that's in the midst of the people with the branches and the Feast of the Tabernacle? Who is this people that come through great tribulation? Who is this people? That's right. It's the 144,000. Notice also the 7th seal. The 7th seal, Revelation chapter 8, verse 1. The 7th seal, Revelation 8, 1. Notice what it says. The 7th seal. And when he had opened the 7th seal, there was silence in heaven about the space of half an hour. Silence, that would be the 3rd heaven. Half an hour. You have to look at it in prophetic time. Okay? You have to look at it in prophetic time. I'm gonna go through some math with y'all for a second, okay? Bear with me if you don't like numbers. I'm going to go through some numbers with you for a second, okay? Just to help you understand that this is the Feast of Tabernacles. We're going to be keeping the Feast of Tabernacles on the Sea of Glass with the Father. Okay, watch this now. If a day is equal to a year, okay, in prophetic time, 1 day is 1 year. 1 day equals 1 year. Okay, everybody got that so far? In prophetic time, 1 day is 1 year. Okay, now, All right, excellent. A day is divided up into 24 hours, right? One day is 24 hours. 12 hours in the day, 12 hours in the night in the equinox. 12 hours in the day, 12 hours in the night, 24 hours in the equinox. Okay, that's a day. Okay? Everybody got that so far? All right? All right? Now, if you're talking about an hour, you're talking about 1/24th of a day, 1/24th, or 1/24th of a year, right? And a year, we said prophetically, is 360 days. So now, if you take 360 and you divide it by 24, you'll get 15. So 15 days represents one prophetic hour. 15 days represents one prophetic hour. Okay? 360 days divided by 24, which is one prophetic hour, 15 days. That's 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 15 days. A little over 2 weeks. So it says in the prophecy, though, it says half an hour, which is 7.5 days. 7.5 days is basically 8 days. And if you recall, when we read about the Feast of Tabernacles, it said the first day shall be a Sabbath, and what? The 8th day shall be a Sabbath. Remember that? It said the first day shall be a Sabbath, and the 8th day shall be a Sabbath. That's the Feast of Tabernacles. So all heaven is cleared out. Who's going to be up there? Nobody going to be up there because everybody's going to be here. All the angels of the kingdom, all the angels, everybody in the universe going to be here watching this event. That's why it's silent in heaven. That's why it's silent. No, nobody's there. Everybody's here. Everybody's here. Yeah, everybody's here. Everybody coming to this one. This is a special Feast of Tabernacles. Everybody is here. This is the redeemed. This is what everybody's been waiting for. From time sin came into existence. This is it right here. Feast of Tabernacles. So you see, the 144,000 are being prepared. All of us also being prepared so that we can receive the seal of Yah, which is coming in less than 10 years. And we can give a message to the people that are still out here in all of these Babylonian churches to warn them to come out. At the end of 3.5 years, we're going to be persecuted. We're going to have to stop our ministry. And then that's the last message given to the heathen. They have 1.5 years and it's all over. It's coming. Brothers and sisters, it's coming quick. It's coming quick. Y'all know, coming quick, man. So now, after that, in the Day of Atonement, when the final Jubilee is given, it's now time for all land to be restored to their original owners. And that's what takes us to Ezekiel chapter 48. Ezekiel chapter 48. That's what takes us to Ezekiel 48. So let's go back now. Ezekiel 48. And last night we stopped off at verse 11. Was it? Let me see. No, verse 13 we stopped off last night. Let's start again though. From verse 11 of Ezekiel 48, talking about they're dividing the land. They're dividing the land because now the land, in heaven they make the announcement. Y'all are sealed. He pours his spirit. He will pour his Holy Spirit of divine righteousness on us. We'll be prepared, assuming we've been faithful. We'll be prepared, and then he'll announce we're going to get our land back. It's time. It's time to get our land back. Okay? So Ezekiel chapter 48, now it's being divided. Ezekiel 48 from verse 11. Let's go from verse 11 down to verse 19. From verse 11 down to verse 19. It shall be for the priests that are sanctified of the sons of Zadok, which have kept my charge, which went not astray when the children of Israel went astray, as the Levites went astray. And this oblation of the land that is offered shall be unto them a thing most holy by the border of the Levites. If you recall also, brothers and sisters, in Revelation chapter 7, you go back, it says they shall serve Yahawah in his temple. These 144,000 are representing priests in the kingdom. They shall serve Yahawah in his temple. And notice here it says, it shall be for the priests sanctified sons of Sadak, which is sons of righteousness. Okay, sons of righteousness. Okay, thing most holy by the border of the Levites. And it said they went not astray when the rest of the Levites went astray. These are the 144,000. Notice again. And over against the border of the priest, the Levites shall have 25,000 in length and 10,000 in breadth. All the length shall be 25,000 in breadth and 10,000. And they shall not sell of it, neither exchange nor alienate the first fruits of the land, for it is holy unto Yahawah. And 5,000 that are left in the breadth over against the 25,000 shall be a profane place for the city, for dwelling, for suburbs, and for the city shall be in the midst thereof. Now, when it says profane in verse 15, I don't want you to think negative. It's like, think of it like this. It's a buffer. You know, sometimes when two people have land, they have a piece of land between them that's a buffer between my land and your land. Like nobody builds on it. It's a buffer. You guys following what I'm saying? So when it says in verse 15, profane place, that's what it's talking about. It's a buffer between the land that's belonging to the priest and everything else. See? So that's what there's that 5,000 cubits of breadth. If that's against the 25,000 cubits of breadth, that's a buffer. It's a buffer, okay? And these shall be measures thereof, the north side 4,500, and the south side 4,500, and the east side 4,500, and the west 4,500. That's again, these are cubits, these are the sides of the city. And if you know the sides of the city, a cubit's a foot and a half. You take 4,500, basically each side of the city is a little over a mile long. A little over a mile long. Okay, each side of the city. It's a little over a mile long. Praise the Most High, Yah. Okay, let's continue. 17, and the suburbs of the city shall be toward the north 250, and toward the south 250, and toward the east 250, and toward the west 250. And the residue in length over against the oblation of the holy portion shall be 10,000 ephod and 10,000 westward. It shall be over against the oblation of the holy portion, and the priests and the increase thereof shall be for food unto them that serve the city. And they that serve the city shall serve it out of all the tribes of Israel. And this is what I want y'all to understand. All the tribes of Israel have Levites in them. All the tribes have Levites in them. Okay, all the tribes. They but the high priest is in Jerusalem, and the sons of Aaron that handle the offerings are in Jerusalem. Okay, and all the priests go up to Jerusalem every year for the sacrifices. All the priests from all the tribes. Okay, with everybody else. Praise the Most High. Okay, let's continue. Ezekiel chapter 48, going from verse 20. From verse 20, let's read from verse 20 down to verse 28. All the oblation shall be 25,000 by 25,000. Ye shall offer the oblation foursquare with the possession of the city. And the residue shall be for the prince on the one side and on the other side of the holy oblation and of the possession of the city over against 25,000 of the oblation toward the east border, and westward over against the 25,000 toward the west border, over against the portions for the prince. It shall be the holy oblation, and the sanctuary of the house shall be in the midst thereof. Moreover, from the possession of the Levites, and from the possession of the city being in the midst of that which is the prince's, between the border of Judah and the border of Benjamin, shall be for the prince. As for the rest of the tribes, from the east side unto the west, Benjamin shall have a portion. And by the border of Benjamin from the east side unto the west side, Simeon shall have a portion. And from the border of Simeon from the east side unto the west side, Yishakar shall have a portion. And from the border of Yishakar from the east side unto the west side, Zababalan shall have a portion. And by the border of Zababalan from the east side unto the west side, Gad shall have a portion. And from the border of Gad unto the south side, even southward to the border shall be even to Tamar unto the rivers of strife in Kadesh, and the river toward the great sea. Okay, stop right here. So now this is the land divided. The land is divided. In the middle of the land is the city, Jerusalem, where the tree of life is, and the 12 manner of fruits are, where the river of life flows from it, and the 12 tribes have their land. And this land is given to them by promise from the Most High. The Day of Atonement and the Day of Jubilee, all land is given back to the original owners. The land is already divided. The Most High now is telling us at that time we're going to be getting back our land. 3.5 years later, he's given the nation of Israel a chance to come back to the truth, a chance to come out of paganism, a chance to come before these plagues start to fall. The message is going to be given where the power has never been seen on that level on the earth. With 144,000 has never been seen on that level. It's going to become, brothers and sisters, this is why it is above all things, receiving the Father's Spirit in truth and righteousness is the most important thing. It's the most important thing of anything, brothers and sisters, of anything. It will cause us to be prepared and ready. It will cause us to inherit the land. Not only that, the 144,000 are used for sign. They are a sign. When you see them come forth, they're a sign. They're bringing in, they're ushering in Messiah. See, as Yachanan the Baptist ushered in the first advent of Messiah, so the 144,000 will be ushering in the last advent of Messiah. They'll be the ones that usher in the bridegroom. Praise the Most High Yah. Notice again, Ezekiel chapter 48, from verse 29 down to verse 35. Ezekiel 48, 29 to 35. Notice what it says. This is the land which ye shall divide by lot unto the tribes of Israel for an inheritance. These are their portions, said the Most High Yahawah. And these are the goings out of the city on the north side, 4,500. See, these are the walls of the city. And the gates of the city after the names of the tribes of Israel. See, this is where they put in the gates. In Ezekiel, they actually show you the names on the gates. In Revelation, they tell you the names that are there. They tell you the names are there, but they don't actually tell you. Ezekiel is actually naming the names. So, and he's naming what side of the city it's on. So here, on the north side of the New Jerusalem, 4,500 measures, a mile long, a little over a mile in length. It says, the gates of the city shall be after the names of the tribes of Israel, 3 gates northward. So we know on the north side of the city, 1 gate of Reuben, the middle gate is Judah, and 1 gate of Lewi on the north side of the city. It's a mile long. It's a little over a mile long. It's over a mile long, actually. It's over a mile long. Okay? Probably more like okay. It's more like a mile 0.1, mile 0.2. It's yeah. Notice again. Verse 32. At the east side, 4,503 gates. 1 gate Joseph, middle gate Benjamin, 1 gate Dan. Joseph, Benjamin, Dan. Benjamin middle gate on the east side. Verse 33. South side, 4,500. measures and 3 gates. 1 gate Shimon, 1 gate Yeshakar, middle gate Yeshakar, 1 gate Zabawalam, 3 gates. On verse 34, on the west side, 4,500 with their 3 gates. 1 gate Gad, middle gate Ashar, 1 gate Naphtali. Watch this, verse 35. And it was round about 18,000 cubits. 18,000 cubits, brothers and sisters, which is 27,000 feet. 27,000 feet. 27,000, a little over 5 miles around is the city. A little over 5 miles. And the name of the city shall be, Yahawah is there. Yahawah is there. Praise the Most High. And you remember Revelation, as we close here, notice Revelation chapter 21. Revelation chapter 21, Yahawah is there. Revelation 21, verses 22 down to 27. Revelation 21, 22 to 27. And I saw no temple therein. For Al Shaddai, Yahawah Al Shaddai, and the Lamb are the temple of it. And the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon to shine in it, for the glory of Yahawah did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof. And the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it. And the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it. And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there. And they shall bring the glory and honor of the nations into it. And there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life. Praise the Most High Yah. Brothers and sisters, we are truly in the final stages here. We are in the final